Did you know that Norway is a member of NATO from 1949 but is not in the European Union? Why? Because people have voted down the motion to join twice back in 1994, and with high employment and a strong economy, the nation sees no reason to renege. The arguments for saying no to European Union were that membership was a threat to the sovereignty of Norway. The fishing industries and agriculture would suffer. That membership would result in increased centralization, and there would be less favorable conditions for equality and the welfare state. Fishing is extremely important to Norway's economy, especially for coastal areas, and the imposition of quotas would harm the trade. Norway is the world's second largest exporter of seafood, after China. And Norway still has access to the European community by virtue of paying high tariffs for trade. But the Norwegians are happy enough with being integrated into the EU, but separate. Norway has joined European Free Trade Association together with Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland. The organization was set up in 1960s for the promotion of free trade and economic integration between its members. Norway is one of the world's most prosperous countries. Oil and gas production account for 20% of its economy. Other important sectors include hydropower, fish, forests, and minerals. State revenues from petroleum are saved in the world's largest sovereign wealth fund. Unemployment is modest, but an aging population could prove challenging in the future. Way back in the 70s, Japan didn't import a single piece of fish, and it didn't use salmon for sushi. All that started to change in the 80s, after a Norwegian seafood delegation visited the Asian country and Project Japan was formed. By the middle of the 90s, the picture had radically changed. Japan was only 50% self-sufficient and needed new suppliers to satisfy the huge demand at home. The two most important reasons for the fall were that Japan was overfishing its stocks, partly because of its lack of a quota system, and because it had been thrown out of other countries' fishing zones. There were also natural factors related to Japan's complicated ocean system that ended up harming its fishing stocks. Never to pass the opportunity, the Norwegians began a 20-year campaign to turn Japan onto salmon, the celebration of which was in 2010. Until the plucky Scandinavians arrived, Japanese had never used salmon in sushi. So that salmon sashimi that you plow into is actually fusion food. And perhaps it's one of Norway's greatest export successes in the last 30 years, possibly even a better invention than the Norwegian cheese slicer. And we all know how important the cheese slicer was. You may believe it or not, but if you would like to know the income of any person or company in Norway, you could easily find it out by looking at their tax return. Because everyone's tax returns are easily available to inspection to anyone in the country. Some information about taxes in Norway. The top personal income tax rate is 47%, or actually 47.5%. And the corporate tax rate has been cut to 23%. I hope it was fun and interesting, and you've learned something new today. Till next time!